Good morning, students. Today our topic is chemical properties of the hydroxy compound. Yesterday we discussed about some of the chemical properties of the hydroxy compounds, alcohols and phenols. Now we discussed the remaining remaining topics of the chemical properties of the alcohols and phenols. Now we discussed about the oxidation process. So the oxidation of the alcohols. So this way we are getting the alcohols, what is happening when alcohols involving in oxidation process. So what is the products we are getting. So generally we have three types of reagent to introduce the oxidation process, like the first with the copper with high temperature, so approximately 200 degrees to 300 degrees around. So the second one PCC, pyridinium chromium chloride. So this is also one of the important oxidation reagents. So third one, so generally KMnO4 in the acidic medium like H2SO4, so or sodium dichromate, like this is dichromates, so in presence of acidic medium. So we have three types of oxidation reagents here. So the first one, copper, the high temperature we are using 200 degrees to 300 degrees. The PCC, pyridinium chromium chlorate. So this is the one of the reagent we are preparing in the instant reaction. So this is the generally reaction with the chromium trioxide reaction with pyridine plus HCl. We are getting the pyridine chromium chlorate. This one KMnO4 plus H2SO4 or sodium. So let's discuss about the deeply. So everything in the from copper to KMnO4. So what is happening? First of all, we can write the series of the oxidation process from alkane to the carboxylic acid. First we start with the alkanes. So for example, if you take a simple example, alkane involving, so the two carbons of alkane we take here. So the simple example, ethane. So what is happening? So alkane involving in oxidation process. So this is the anisand oxygen. So involving in the oxidation process. So we are getting the ethyl alcohols. So after that, so again we are conducting oxidation. So we are getting the acetaldehyde. So this is the carbonyl compounds. After that, we conducting again oxidation process. We are getting the acetic acid. So this is the series from alkane to the saturated alkanes to from carboxylic acid. This is the oxidation process involving. Here the alkane undergo oxidation process involving, we are getting the ethyl alcohol. So after oxidation process involving acetaldehyde, that means carbonyl compound we are getting. Then the carbonyl compound, again oxidation process involving carboxylic acid. This is the process to prepare the from oxidation. This reverse process we called as a reduction process. So this is the two happening. So from here we have study about the alcohols at the mid of this oxidation process. After the oxidation, conducting the oxidation to the alcohols, we are getting the carbonyl compounds and carboxylic acid. So it is happening. If you take the mild oxidizing agents like copper like PCC, if you use to oxidate the alcohols to prepare the carbonyl compounds. If you use more oxidizing agents like KMnO4 and sodium dichromates to prepare the carboxylic acid. So this way to prepare the involving the alcohols into the oxidation process. So next we discuss about the, first of all we discussed about the simple example. We start with the simple examples, the reaction with copper metal under the high temperature, like we take from 200 degrees to 300 degrees vapors. So that's why the primary alcohols, what is happening when the primary alcohols involving in this reaction to the oxidation process of copper and this copper. So we have take a more temperature, that's why we take like this 200 degrees to and 300 degrees temperature. So we are getting from primary alcohols. This is the primary alcohols. We know very well what is called primary alcohols. the hydroxy group directly attached with the primary carbon. That's we call as a primary alcohol. What is primary carbon? The carbon only attached with one carbon, that we call as a primary alcohol. So this is the primary alcohol involving in the oxidation process under the copper vapors. So we are getting the, what is the compound we are getting here. So we already know about the mild oxidation involving in the alcohols. We are getting the carbonyl compounds. We are getting here acetaldehyde is the product. If you involving secondary alcohols, like you know very well, this is one of the example of secondary alcohols and involving in the oxidation process of the copper vapors in the presence. So we are getting the secondary alcohols. So finally we are getting the ketone. Ketone is the product. So this way too we prepare the compounds from alcohols to the carbonyl compounds under the copper vapors. So that we take a more temperature. That's why we take as the copper vapors. Next we discuss about some of the example of this reaction. For example, in case of we take the ethyl alcohol, what is happening then? Ethyl alcohol involving in the oxidation process, we are getting the what is called acetaldehyde is the product. Acetaldehyde is product. When you take isopropyl alcohol here, so then what is happening if you involving isopropyl alcohol oxidation process in the copper vapors, finally we are getting the acetone is the product. So this way to prepare the from alcohols to the carbonyl compounds, like the primary alcohols always give the aldehydes and the secondary alcohols give the ketones. So in the presence of copper vapors, so this is happening in the oxidation process reaction. So next we discuss about the PCC reagent. So this is also same thing. The PCC, that means the PCC reactions also given same product in case of copper vapors. So if you take alcohols, primary alcohols gives the aldehydes and the secondary alcohols give the ketones. So this way to prepare the alcohols to all carbonyl compounds. So next we discuss about this is the what is that pyridium chlorochromate. So next we discuss what is called pyridium chlorochromate. This is pyridium chlorochromate. So this is we have prepared from instant on the reaction spot. So for example, if you take the pyridine, this is the pyridine. So we know the heterocyclic compound, this is the pyridine, reaction with chromium trioxide plus HCl. So finally we are getting the pyridium chlorochromate. So that is the compound. So we are getting this compound we call as a pyridium chromofluorate. So this instant reagent to use to involving in the oxidation process of the alcohols to prepare the aldehydes and ketones. Okay, now we discuss about this deeply about the PCC reagents. Like for example, this is the PCC reagent. That's why we call as a pyridinium chlorochromate. So this is made by the pyridinium and chromium trioxide plus HCl on the instant to prepare this reaction. Okay, start with the PCC reagent. This reagent involving in the dichloromethane liquid reactions under the dichloromethane reactions. This reaction involving PCC reactions are involving in dichloromethane reactions. This is also same thing. The primary alcohols, we take primary alcohols involving in this reaction. So under the PCC, dichloromethane is the solvent we are using to prepare the primary alcohols to acetaldehyde. So here we are getting the acetaldehyde, not acetaldehyde, this is the aldehyde. So general aldehyde we write here. So next the second one. So this is the secondary alcohols we take from secondary alcohols. What is happening when secondary alcohols involving in PCC reagent oxidation process? So we are getting the ketone is the product. So some of the examples we discussed here. For example, in case of primary alcohols, we take a ethyl alcohol in the PCC, what is called pyridinium chlorochromate. So that is short form we call as a PCC. Under this PCC reagent, the solvent we take the dichloromethane is the solvent to use in these reactions to prepare the alcohols to carbonyl compounds. Like here we take a primary alcohols. In case of primary alcohols, we take ethyl alcohol to involving in this reaction. So we are getting the finally acetaldehyde is the product. Acetaldehyde is the product. So this way we prepare the ethyl alcohol to acetaldehyde. The next we discussed about the isopropyl alcohol. If you take the isopropyl alcohol, so this is one of the example of secondary alcohols involving in this reaction. So finally we are getting the acetone is the products. So this way to prepare the acetone from isopropyl alcohol. Next we discussed about the strong oxidizing agents like KMnO4 and sodium dichromate. So like we discussed about this strong oxidizing agents. So we know about the oxidation series from alkane to carboxylic acid. If the alkane we are used to oxidize to alkanes to we are getting ethyl alcohol. After alcohols we oxidation process involving we are getting carbonyl compound. Then carbonyl compound under the oxidation process involving carboxylic acid final the product. So that's why this way to prepare the alkanes to from this carboxylic acid. This is the oxidation process. The alcohols also one of the middle of this oxidation process. The alcohols under the strong oxidation reagents involving in this reaction we are getting the carboxylic acid is the products. For example, if you take the what is happening when two compounds are taking for like primary alcohols and secondary alcohols. If you take the KMnO4 is the reagent, if the primary alcohols is represent the same number of the carboxylic acid, when it is happening the KMnO4 involving into the reaction with the secondary alcohols, we are getting the ketone is the product. So then we get we conduct the oxidation process again to the ketones. We are getting the less number of the carbons of the carboxylic acid we are getting. So this way to prepare the carboxylic acid to and from alcohols. So finally, first of all, we discussed about the primary alcohols involving in this reaction. This is the primary alcohols involving in the reaction under the KMnO4 conditions. So this is one of the strongest oxidizing agents. Potassium permanganate is the strongest oxidizing agent to involving the primary alcohols in the acidic medium oxidation process. We are getting the potassium carboxylate ions. Like we take the from ethyl alcohol. What is happening when ethyl alcohol involving in this oxidation process? So the reagent is KMnO4. It is a strong oxidizing reagent. So we are getting the sodium, potassium acetate is the product. Next we discussed about the secondary alcohols. What is happening when the secondary alcohols involving in this reaction? Like if you take a simple example of secondary alcohols, isopropyl alcohol. We know very well the isopropyl alcohol is a secondary alcohol. So this is the secondary alcohol involving in this reaction KMnO4 oxidation process. So we are getting this product. So this is what is happening, and ketone is present. Ketone is present. So that means if you take a primary alcohols, it gives the carboxylic acid. The secondary alcohols, it gives the ketone and carbonyl compounds. Again, we conduct the oxidation process. After that, ketone we split into the two carbons. Finally, we are getting acetic acid. So acetic acid plus carbon dioxide. So this way to prepare the acetic acid from secondary alcohols. Next we discussed about some specific reactions of the phenols. What is because of the phenol is more acidic than when compared to alcohols. That's why we discussed about the phenol acidic nature. So we have some specific reactions here. So in the phenol specific reactions, we start with the phenol specific reactions. So phenol specific reactions. So these are all well named reactions. So So what is the specific nature of the phenol? When you observe the phenol compared to alcohol, phenol is more acidic than the alcohol. That's why phenol having the more acidic. So it is involving in the reactions in the presence of bases to prepare the so many compounds of the benzene substitution like benzoaldehyde, salicylic acid and salicylic aldehyde. So these are all we prepare from phenol to prepare. First of all, we discussed about some of the important reactions. Here we discussed about the Reaumur-Tiemann reaction. Reaumur and Tiemann reaction. This is also one of the named reaction, well named reaction to prepare the phenol to salicylic aldehyde. So Reaumur-Tiemann reaction. Reaumur-Tiemann reaction. Okay. Now we discussed about the Reaumur-Tiemann reaction. So this reaction, so we have the phenol is the reactant, the reagents are chloroform and sodium hydroxide. We know very well the sodium hydroxide is the base, the phenol is the acidic. So that's why the phenol acid reaction involving in the base medium. So that's why we prepare the salicylic aldehyde. So what is happening with these two compounds involving in this reaction? Now we discussed about the deeply of the Reaumur-Tiemann reaction. About the Reaumur-Tiemann reaction. So this is very simple reaction. So the phenol react with the chloroform in presence of basic medium. So this is the chloroform. So under the basic medium. So the temperature, given the temperature, this reactants to 70 degrees. So finally we are getting this product, ortho-hydroxy benzoaldehyde plus para-hydroxy benzoaldehyde. So this is the para-hydroxy benzoaldehyde, this one ortho-hydroxy benzoaldehyde. So we know the very well monosubstitution benzene substitution. This is the monosubstitution benzene. We take examples. So this is the ortho position and meta position and para position. So here the benzoaldehyde, so the hydroxy group on ortho position. That's why we call it as a ortho hydroxy benzoaldehyde. So this one we have the benzoaldehyde. So this is the para position, hydroxy group para position. So the benzoaldehyde groups. That's why we call it as a para hydroxy benzoaldehyde. So generally we are getting these two products from the phenol reaction with chloroform in the presence of base under the 70 degrees temperature. We are getting the ortho-hydroxy benzoaldehyde and para-hydroxy benzoaldehyde. So what is the mechanism in this reaction, involving in this reaction? Now we discussed about the mechanism of this reaction. We start with the reaction with base like sodium hydroxide. So the sodium hydroxide is a base. So it is ionized to form sodium plus and hydroxy groups. After that, the hydroxy group reaction with the chloroform, like so this is the chloroform to react with hydroxy group. So to form trichlorocarbene ion. So here the trichlorocarbene ion plus H2O. So that trichlorocarbene ion, it is very less stable when compared to chloroform. That's why the trichlorocarbene ion lose to chloride ion to form the dichlorocarbene. So to form the dichlorocarbene. So this is happening when it is trichlorocarbene ion lose the carbon to form the dichlorocarbene and chloride ion. So this is the dichlorocarbene. It is one of the electrophile, act as a electrophile. So the next, the dichlorocarbene ion react with the phenoxide ion. So the phenol, we know very well, the phenol as a act as a acid. The phenol react with the base OH minus, like so we are getting this product, phenoxide ion is the product. So plus H2O. So then phenoxide ion reaction with this dichlorocarbene. So this is act as a nucleophile, this one act as a electrophile. So the nucleophile attacking to the electrophile. So next we get this intermediate. So what is happening? The phenoxide ion involving in this reaction to form the So this is the one of the resonance structure. We write here the phenoxide ion resonance structure, the carbene. So this is the phenoxide ion resonance structure to react with dichlorocarbene. So the dichlorocarbene is a electrophile. That's why it is the carbene ion donating to the electrons towards the dichlorocarbene. So this is the intermediate we are getting from these two compounds reaction. So when the reaction with H here and minus, so it is donating to the two chlorines, carbon charge minus charge to the electrophile carbene ion. So then we reaction with this mixture into water molecule reaction with, we are getting this product. So what is the product we are getting? This intermediate we are getting finally H and Cl. Here already carbon having negative charge. In hydrolysis process, the H plus take from carbocation to the carbene ion from the water molecule. So then we get this product H and Cl and Cl. So after that, this product we are getting. So this way to prepare from OH and we again with reaction with hydroxy group. Finally, we are getting this product. So this is the product we are getting from benzoyl. After that, it is involving in tautomerism process. Finally, we are getting orthohydroxy benzoyl is the product. Orthohydroxy benzoyl is the product. From phenol to we prepare from orthohydroxy benzoyl. So this is the way to prepare the mechanism involving in the Reamer-Temer reaction. From phenol react with the chloroform in the presence of base sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide under the 70 degrees temperature to produce the orthohydroxy benzoyl and para-hydroxy benzoyl. So this way to prepare the from orthohydroxy and para-hydroxy benzoyl from phenol. Next we discussed about the Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. So the Kolbe-Schmidt reaction, we prepare the salicylic acids from phenol to salicylic acid. Now we discussed deeply about the Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. So we start with Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. So this is also one of the important reaction of phenols. So the Kolbe-Schmidt reaction, the phenol to react with carbon dioxide under the 627 pressure, atmosphere pressure and 120 to 140 degrees temperature. So this reaction involving under the conditions of pressure and temperature. So the phenol react with carbon dioxide with the basic medium. Like if you take any base, sodium hydroxide is the base. Here we take. Finally, we are getting the salicylic acid is the product. Salicylic acid is the product. So this is also we called as a orthohydroxy benzoic acid. Orthohydroxy benzoic acid. So this is also one of the famous named reaction, Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. Now we discussed about what is the mechanism involving in the Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. First of all, we discussed a simple reaction, the phenol reaction with carbon dioxide under the basic condition. So the temperature is 120 to 140 degrees and the pressure is 6 to 7 atmosphere. So we are getting finally orthohydroxy benzoic acid. This is we also called as a salicylic acid compound. So what is the mechanism involving in this reaction? We start with the base sodium hydroxide. So the sodium hydroxide generally ionized to form the sodium plus and hydroxide ion. So then the hydroxide ion reaction with the phenol. So because of the phenol acidic nature, the hydroxide ion is a base. So that's why they lose the proton from the phenol to form the water molecule to the hydroxide ion. So finally we are getting this product, phenoxide ion plus H2. So this phenoxide ion further reaction with the carbon dioxide. So the phenoxide ion resonance structure, we know the resonance structure of phenoxide ion. So this is the one of the resonance structure of phenoxide ion to react with the carbon dioxide. So this is the carbon dioxide linear structure. The carbon between the oxygen, we have the double bonds. Here the carbon have two oxygens, so that's why we have make a two pi bonds and two sigma bonds here. So the negative ion of the carbon ion attacking to the carbon, because of the, we know the very well the between the carbon and oxygen bond nature, the carbon always having positive charge, the oxygen having negative charge. That's why the negative charge carbon ion attacking to the carbon center. Because of this reason, so we are getting this intermediate finally. So this is the intermediate, we are getting phenoxide H and COO minus. After that, the migration of tautomerism, finally we are getting the salicylic amyl acid is the product from the phenol to react with carbon dioxide under the basic condition. We maintain the pressure 6 to 7 atmosphere and the temperature 120 to 140 degrees. Next we discussed about the bromination of the phenol. So we have two reaction in bromination reaction. The first one, there is simple reaction. The second one, the bromine involving in these two reactions. The bromine is the reagent and the solvents, we take solvents are different. If the bromine, if you take the solvent as a water, it is a polar solvent. If this is the first reaction, then we take the second reaction, the bromine react with the phenol in the non-polar solvents like CS2, carbon disulfide. So like this is the polar solvent to the bromine involving in this reaction. The second one, bromine reaction with non-polar solvent CS2. We know the polar compounds. What is called polar? We know the plus and minus ion formation that we called as a polar. So this is the non-polar CS2. What is happening when the first condition we take the polar compound, the second solvent we take the non-polar solvent. So but the reagent is similar. So what is happening? First we discussed about the polar solvent reaction with the bromine to phenol. So this is the phenol. So phenol to react with, so phenol react with bromine under polar conditions, polar solvents to form the one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6. This is the 1. So from alcohols we are giving the priorities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this way we were giving the nomenclature to this compound 2, 4, 6. So how many bromines are present in this compound? We have 3 bromines. That's why we write here tribromo phenol. So is the product from water molecule solvent, so polar solvents. If you take a non-polar solvents like CS2 reaction with bromine, so under the same condition, reagent is same but the solvent is different. Here we take the non-polar solvent. In this case, we are getting the 2 compounds that we call some mono substitution of the bromine compounds like orthobromophenol and para-bromophenol. So this is happening if the polar solvent bromination is more. So that's why we are getting the 2, 4, 6 tribromophenyl. In the under non-polar solvents, we have only less mono-substituted bromine substitution of the phenol. So that we call orthobromophenol and para-bromophenol. So this is the brominization reaction. So next we discussed about the Price rearrangement from the phenol to prepare the estates to finally we are getting the orthohydroxy acetone. It is a compound to prepare from Price rearrangement. So in this Price rearrangement, so the reagent, so we take from phenyl estate Price rearrangement reaction. In this Price rearrangement reaction, phenyl acetate Phenyl acetate is the reagent. Reactant. The phenyl acetate reactant under the Lewis bases like FeCl3 or FeCl3 to form to Fries reagent rearrangement to this. You can write like this product also. So this is the phenyl acetate after rearrangement to produce the under the Lewis bases like aluminum chloride or ferric chloride to form the para-hydroxy acetophenone. Para-hydroxy acetophenone. Para-hydroxy acetophenone. This way to prepare the from Price rearrangement to the para-hydroxy acetophenone. So under the rearrangemented to product the phenyl acetate to form the para-hydroxy acetophenone is the products. Next we discussed about the diazonium salt reaction. Diazonium salt reaction. This is also we called as a diazonium coupling reaction. So the diazonium coupling reaction, we first of all we prepare the diazonium salt. So then diazonium salt react with the phenol to produce the para-hydroxy phenyl-azobenzene. Para-hydroxy phenyl-azobenzene. This is the orange PPT precipitate we are getting from react with diazonium salts with phenols. So now we discussed about the diazonium coupling reaction. This is very simple reaction. We already completed Price rearrangement. Now we discussed about the diazonium coupling reaction. So diazonium coupling reaction. So this is called as a diazonium coupling reaction. So first of all we start with the phenol or aniline. So we prepare the first of all diazonium salt. So from aniline, the aniline reaction with nitrous acid under the low temperature 0 to 5 degrees, you can produce the what is called diazonium salts. So but the nitrous acid is very less stable, that's why we instantly prepare with sodium nitrite with reaction with HCl to produce the diazonium salts. Like this is the diazonium salt to produce from this way we produce under the low temperature because of this is very nitrous acid is very low temperature we take from. If you gain temperature more, so the nitrous acid converting into nitric acid, that is happening. So that's why we prepare from diazonium salts from aniline. So this is the aniline. So we call as the benzene substitution with the amine groups, primary amines. So that we call as the aniline. The aniline reaction with sodium nitrite under the HCl. So basic condition, acidic condition. So finally we are getting the diazonium salt is the product. These diazonium salts react with the phenol to produce the para-hydroxy phenyl-azobenzene. Para-hydroxy phenyl-azobenzene. So this is the product we are getting. So to react with phenol react with diazonium salts like so this is the diazonium salts to react with phenol to form the para-hydroxy phenyl-azobenzene. So this way to prepare the diazonium. This specific reactions we completed phenol specific reaction. So Riemann reaction and Kolbe-Schmidt reaction, Price rearrangement, and then lastly we already discussed the diazonium coupling reaction. Now we discussed about the identification of the phenols and alcohols reaction. How can you identify the alcohols, primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols identification? First of all, we use the Lucas reagent to prepare the Lucas reagent to identify the primary and secondary alcohols. So what is called Lucas reagent? So zinc chloride is the Lucas reagent. So this is the reagent to identify the primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. How can you identify primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols with the help of Lucas reagent? So the primary alcohols give Lucas reagent test. It take more time than 30 minutes. So the secondary, it will have give only 5 minutes to give the Lucas reagent test. Then the tertiary take only 1 minute to identify the Lucas reagent test. So in this case, to identify the primary, secondary, tertiary with the help of Lucas reagents. So now we discuss deeply about the Lucas reagents test. How can you identify the Lucas reagent test to these compounds? Okay, with tertiary alcohols to identify the with help of Lucas reagents. So the tertiary alcohols reaction with Lucas reagent. So we are getting the white precipitation within 1 minute to identify white mean. So we are getting tertiary. So the tertiary butyl alcohol give tertiary chloride, tertiary butyl chloride. So this reaction very fastly we conducting because of reactivity is more when compared to secondary and primary. That's why so we can identify this reaction too. So the reaction with tertiary alcohols with Lucas reagent. So this is very fast reactant to prepare the tertiary butyl alcohol to tertiary butyl chloride. So this reaction we are getting the white precipitation to identify the tertiary alcohols. Next we discussed about the secondary alcohols. So it takes to 10 to 55 to 10 minutes from Lucas reagent test to identify. So the next, so this is the isopropyl alcohol. So one of the example of secondary alcohols. So it gives isopropyl chloride. So it takes 5 to 10 minutes. So in this test to so identify the primary alcohols, it take more time to react with Lucas reagents. So this Lucas reagent to identify the primary and secondary tertiary alcohols to identify with the help of Lucas reagents. So this is the one of the identification test. Next so this is our today topic. So tomorrow we will discuss with some of the hydroxy compounds like polyhydroxy compounds properties. So this is our class today. Okay, thank you, bye.